Breaking news right now at 11. Northern lights visible in Central Florida. Here is a look from our tower cam in Daytona Beach. The flashes of red and blue started appearing about an hour ago, slowly dissipating.
Our camera atop the West 2 Tower in Winter Park also caught a little glimpse of the lights as well, looking up I-4 towards Altamont Springs. And our camera in downtown Ocala also picking up the lights very faintly just around an hour ago.
And of course, all of this happening as we get a second night of cold weather. Right now at 11, already down to 35 in Ocala, 45 in Orlando, and 44 along the coast in Daytona Beach. WESH 2 has issued an impact weather night again as we deal with a freeze warning in Marion County. First Warning Chief Meteorologist Tony Mainolfi is timing out when we will see the coldest air tonight. But Tony, first, very rare to see northern lights in Florida.
Yeah, well, a very strong geomagnetic storm combined with some very cold air. You get those charged ionized particles upstairs, and that's why we're getting this unbelievable show tonight. We got some great photos we're going to show you a little bit later on. But let's get back to the top story. That is the impact weather with readings tomorrow morning, once again around freezing in Marion County. Metro areas right around 40 with wind chills in the 30s here. So once we get past tomorrow morning, we're going to be in much better shape. Downtown Orlando right now shows you the story here. It's 34 in Ocala, 37 Palm Coast, 40 DeLand, 38 over towards Wildwood, 44 in Orlando. Notice the upper 40s to near 50 in coastal Brevard County. So freeze here, frost outside of that area, just north and west of downtown Orlando, just northwest there of Sanford, and just to the west there of the airport over towards Daytona Beach. So a 1 to 2 hour freeze here from Reddick, Citra, Denellen. You get into Ocala, you get into Salt Springs, you get into Bellevue. We think that the temperatures are going to be just above the freezing mark there, so we're not expecting a freeze duration there. Lynn 33, Ocala 33, just to the south and west, and up towards Citra right around 32. And as you work your way off towards the south and the east, you can see how these temperatures do begin to moderate. Now, if you're not a fan of this colder air, hang in there. By the end of the week, we're going to be near 80. I'll time that out for you, and we'll take a look at some of the latest information on the Aurora Borealis and how long it's going to stick around when I see you coming up at 11:18.
Breaking news tonight, the U.S. Supreme Court will allow the Trump administration to continue to withhold fully funding food stamp payments this month.
Several groups sued the federal government to force it to pay November's full benefits. The Supreme Court's move does not resolve the issue, but appears to buy time to allow Congress to pass a pending funding deal. And that deal could pass tomorrow. Here's a live look at the U.S. Capitol tonight as we near the end of the 42nd day into the longest government shutdown in U.S. history. The House expected to vote on a deal tomorrow. A small group of Democrats voted with Republicans in the Senate to pass the deal last night. The bill does not include subsidies for the Affordable Care Act, which is what Democrats wanted and what they were holding out for. But it will hopefully get more air traffic controllers in towers and more flights in the sky ahead of the holiday season. Tonight, though, the FAA is still cutting flights to hit that 10% reduction goal. Already today, 43 flights canceled, more than 125 delayed.
But even if the government reopens this week, it could take weeks for air travel to return to normal. WESH 2's Haley Crumblehome is live for us at MCO right now with what the Secretary of Transportation says could happen if the government shutdown doesn't end soon. Haley.
So MCO definitely feeling those impacts, those flight reductions today. This board behind me, you're seeing a lot of yellow and green, but the airport did tell me today they were projecting around 42 flights to be canceled because of those reductions. And the Secretary of Transportation said today this is only going to get worse this weekend if the government shutdown doesn't end. At the Orlando International Airport, flyers were still rolling in and out despite an FAA emergency order requiring a reduction in flights here and at dozens of airports throughout the country.
For those passengers arriving in from Chicago here.
Some passengers still experiencing a pretty normal travel day despite an estimated 42 flights canceled here Tuesday.
Overall, the delays aren't too terrible.
And people express sympathy for federal employees working through the shutdown.
We got to be mindful that everybody here has been working without pay.
One passenger told WESH 2 she had a flight issue of a different kind Tuesday. She said she got to the airport at 4 a.m. trying to get to family impacted by the storm that hit Jamaica.
Yes, I'm trying to get some food down.
But when she got to the airport, she said she found out the ticket she bought was a scam.
I got an itinerary, and so I thought I was okay.
She booked a new flight for Wednesday, but with the disruptions this week,
I'm worried that the flight won't make it out. I'm worried about coming back. You know, it's just so many things.
Secretary of Transportation Sean Duffy said Tuesday if the government shutdown doesn't end, the situation at airports will get worse with the holiday travel season looming. With the Senate striking a deal, Duffy urged lawmakers to get to work.
There's a lot of Thanksgiving travel. What's going to happen during that time frame? I'm going to tell you we are not going to get to Thanksgiving. You're going to see this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The big disruption thus far, massively more disruption as we come into the weekend if the government doesn't open. It is going to radically slow down. So the House has to do its work.
Now, this has been a phased-in approach with these flight reductions. So here at MCO, they haven't reached their full 10% reduction yet. That is set to happen by this Friday. Live at the Orlando International Airport, Haley Krumpelholm, WESH 2 News.
And WESH 2 is staying on top of the government shutdown and the deal to send federal workers back to work. We'll alert you on air and online if the House passes a funding bill and if the president signs it, officially ending the longest shutdown in U.S. history. New at 11, a fire tore through a home, killing one cat in Longwood. That fire broke out just after 6:30 on Fox Squirrel Lane. That's off Wekiva Springs Road and 434. Crews say heavy smoke was coming out of that house when they arrived. Firefighters were able to rescue 2 other cats, and the family is okay, but the home is heavily damaged. The cause remains under investigation.
A teen is in jail tonight accused of trying to kill a man by running him over not once, but several times. 18-year-old Jarrell Jones faced a judge today for the first time. Witnesses tell Orange County deputies they saw Jones's car on Silver Star and Belco Drive in September, and they say the victim walked up to Jones's car, possibly asking for money, and that's when he was run over. Witnesses say the suspect first ran over the victim's body, then backed up and ran over his head. The arrest affidavit says the victim suffered a fractured skull and multiple brain bleeds. Deputies say he had no recollection of what happened. Court records show Jones's girlfriend and another passenger confirmed he was driving at the time. Jones now faces attempted second-degree murder charges. A man serving in the military is locked up tonight accused of sexually abusing a child, and investigators say there may be other victims out there. Investigators tell us 22-year-old Giovanni Curtis here of Palm Coast is charged with sexually abusing a child under the age of 12 almost a decade ago. The investigation started with a single report from a parent in Flagler. The months-long investigation then took detectives to Texas, and that's where they got a confession. Investigators say Curtis was 13 when he allegedly committed the crimes in Flagler County. Curtis claimed he touched other children as well. He's now being held on a $150,000 bond in El Paso, awaiting extradition to Florida.
New at 11, police say a man stole a construction worker's car and tried to run him over. But here's what makes this story only in Florida. After Sanibel police and Lee County deputies chased this man to the end of the island, they say he went into this porta potty. He emerged a short time later with no pants on. Officers say he then grabbed 2 wooden stakes to use as a weapon and then took off running. Well, deputies eventually tased him as he ran towards another car.
Ouch.
And he was arrested.
It has been nearly a month now since the Seminole County student body was gripped with one tragedy after another after another. 3
students died by suicide within the span of a week. Tonight, the community got together at Hagerty High School to figure out how to help each other. WESH News' Tony Atkins joins us there live. Tony, this discussion went on for 2 hours.
Yeah, story tonight, families came together to lean into one another, to listen to experts, and really to find ways that they could support their kids as they navigate their school careers. They also say they wanted to break that stigma regarding having conversations about mental health.
What unites us is the simple truth that we all need care.
On the heels of tragedy, a community coming together.
We're asking, is there anything else that we need to be aware of? Is this connected to a previous tragic event?
Tuesday, a conversation named Stay, Tomorrow Needs You was held at Hagerty High School, a night of impact aimed at helping families find support when it comes to mental health matters. The conversation comes weeks after 3 Seminole County Public School students were lost to suicide. Tables with information, resources, and services were at the ready, as well as a 2-hour-long discussion where experts took questions from families hoping to support their kids.
I don't think that we talk enough about mental health, first of all.
People like Jackie Hart and Elizabeth Isaacs say it was a great start and they hope to see more students in conversations like these as well.
These kids need to hear that there are people there that want to be there for them. We care. We want to know.
Mostly the coping mechanisms, they really inspired me in ways where I was like, oh, I could use this, or I could help my friend in this way or that way.
And the students that were able to attend say they have takeaways too, and they look forward to seeing students lead these conversations in the future.
Adolescents are particularly vulnerable to mental health challenges, so showing that there is support from the student side and that it's not, whoa, older support is amazing, parents, teachers, community. It's important to show that there are real problems and there are real help from people our age.
And the Seminole County Public Schools, they say if any students need any help, staff is always on hand to give them the support that they need. We do have a link to resources for students in that district, as well as resources for people in general on our website, wesh.com. For now, I'm covering Seminole County live in Oviedo. Tony Atkins, WESH 2 News.